Okay, I'm going to assume that we're live. Hello, everyone. My name is Quantum. I'm with Project Restore Us. I'm a PhD student at MIT, and I live across the street from PAGU, which is where we're at right now. And today, with Project Restore Us, what we're doing today is our biggest delivery yet. We're delivering grocery boxes to 346 families in the greater Boston area in partnership with 3 community organizations and 3 restaurant partners. Um, Project Restore Us, our mission is to save restaurants while feeding families this winter. Um, Restaurants are really struggling this winter. In Massachusetts alone, nearly 1 out of every 4 restaurants have already shut down, and it's likely that more are going to continue to close. If you just look at Central Square here, I can already think of a bunch of restaurants that I know that have restaurants and bars I know that have unfortunately had to shut down. So Project Restore Us restores work to restaurant workers and tries to support restaurants. Our restaurant partners have all shut down indoor dining, prioritizing public safety over revenue. So that's one of the problems Project Restore Us addresses. The other side of that is food insecurity. Food insecurity in the U.S. has doubled due to the pandemic. Right now, in eastern Massachusetts alone, 1 out of every 7 or 8 residents is facing food insecurity. You can see it on the streets. The need has increased for food, but at the same time, food pantries have actually shut down because a lot of those food pantries are run by volunteers who are elderly and susceptible to COVID. So we've been seeing really long lines at food pantries where basically you see people who are struggling to eat who are being forced to risk COVID exposure just so that they can get some food on the table. So what Project Restore Us does is we take donor and grant dollars. We pay those to restaurants like Pagu here. The restaurants will buy groceries and pack them into grocery boxes. We partner with community organizations like the Chinese Progressive Association of Boston or Boston Community Pediatrics. They know their members, they know who needs help, so they connect us with family members who need these boxes. And over here behind us, you can see one of our delivery cars is being loaded with the grocery boxes. There are volunteer drivers. Today we have 59 volunteer drivers who are delivering these boxes to the households. All the deliveries are safe, contactless. That's really one of the things we think. I mean, many people have been resorting to Instacart or Amazon groceries to get contactless delivery. We think that during the pandemic, everyone should have access to that so that they can stay safe while putting food on the table. So, yeah, let's see. You can see we've got a lot of bags of rice and bags of beans here. These groceries are what we call our front-loaded grocery boxes, where these are the first batch of deliveries that are going out to families. So they include a lot of staple items like rice and beans, as well as a box of groceries, which includes fresh produce. We'll show you the contents of one of the grocery boxes in a bit. But yeah, I guess at this point, maybe let's step inside of Pagu to show you the grocery box. So welcome to Pagu, one of our restaurant partners. So as you can see here, we've got lots of groceries. Here, these are 10-pound bags of rich noodles. These are going to our families from the Asian American Resources Workshop. These families are predominantly Vietnamese workers. A lot of them work in nail salons and have been furloughed or laid off due to the pandemic. A lot of them are also facing deportation. So that's just these families, the ones who are receiving these boxes. But we think it's really important that families receive groceries that are familiar to them. So we customize our boxes so that they contain things like rice noodles. Or so here you can see this is the rest of the produce that the Vietnamese families receive. We've got eggs. You can see we've got these huge heads of bok choy. We've also got fish sauce. Under this bok choy here is a big tub of coconut milk. We've got carrots, onions, potatoes, ginger, garlic, green papaya over here. So each of our boxes are customized by our chefs, like Tracy Chang, Irene Lee, and Camille. The Vietnamese box is actually new to us today. We've got 3 different types of boxes here today. We've got the Vietnamese box, we've got the Asian box going to the Chinese Progressive Association, and then another new box today is the kid-friendly box going to the families from Boston Community Pediatrics. So they requested that those families receive kid-friendly produce like apples, oranges, carrots, no peanut butter because of allergy considerations, and those families also receive rice and beans. Yeah, so that's the grocery boxes. Why don't we head over and see if Tracy can chat for a minute? That's Sarah, yeah, taking boxes out. Tracy, do you have a moment? Yeah. So you can see in the back, I mean, so we got here, I think around 10 o'clock, maybe a little bit before 10, to get everything set up. But yesterday, Pagu's restaurant workers all day, I think they started around 10:30 and went to like, I don't know, late in the evening, just like setting up all of these boxes. But Tracy can tell you more about that and about how Project Resource started and like the challenges that restaurants are facing.
Sure. All right, this is a live stream, right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, back from the kitchen. Yeah, this has been, since the beginning, a lot of juggling to figure out what works, keep people going, keep people employed, and it all started with a bag of flour. Marina came to me, a friend of a friend, and asked if I had a 50-pound bag of flour. She and her friends wanted to split a 50-pound bag. They didn't want to risk going into grocery stores at that time. We didn't know as much about COVID-19, about PPE, how the virus is spread, etc. And from that conversation about flour and sourcing flour for her, Marina realized that restaurants still have access to supply chains, and that both restaurants and supply chains would be hurting in the near future. And that from the other side, there is demand for people to get groceries more cheaply. So she helped me launch a Pagu market where we built over 200 items in inventory to sell and provide to our nearby community for folks who usually come to Pagu to get a meal, celebrate a birthday, have a board meeting, host a wedding, and now perhaps they would come and buy their weekly groceries. So they started to do that, and then we realized, well, if people who want to eat want to get their groceries from us, then what about people who need to eat? Where will they get their groceries next? And so the idea for Project Restore Us was born. I think this was probably back in May. And we decided, hey, let's figure out a way to get families in need. These are food insecure families, many of which have been furlough, have continued to seek out employment but been able to find it. Some have had COVID, some have dealt with family members who have either passed or currently still have COVID. Um, so, we wanted to reach these families, and we had friends who were in labor and community organizing, and they have been around. They've been around for decades. They know their communities. They know their community needs. They have lists of families, um, and they have identified, who needs the food, what kind of food. Are they elderly? Are they diabetic? All these kinds of details. So, in learning that information, we crafted a very specific program, very specific boxes that contain the culturally and diet appropriate foods that they need. And we decided, it doesn't make sense to just feed these families once for a week, and then find new families and find new restaurants to support. Scale is an interesting thing because we want to be able to first take care of those families and make sure that they have what they need for the next 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. So our program is kind of different than other programs out there. We make sure that in that first week, they get front loaded with a lot of dry goods, in addition to produce items. So they know that for the next 4 to 6 weeks, food wise, things are going to be okay. They're going to have 25 pounds of rice, in other cases, 25 pounds of beans as well, or lentils, gallon of oil, 16 pounds of maseca, to be able to sustain themselves for that period of time. In the following weeks, we drop off more produce items, depending on the family. If it's with working with the CPA, Chinese Progressive Association, then we'll have things like cabbages, bok choy. If it's with the Vietnamese organization, we had green papaya, we have fish sauce. It's all culturally appropriate. And, diet-wise, we do have some diabetic, we do have some elderly. In talking with these community organizations, we are there to listen first, to understand what it is that these recipients want and design towards that. And it's super important that, that we're always listening. And they say, hey, we're interested in, gluten-free pasta. We're interested in rice noodles. We're interested in, lentils, chickpeas, brown rice, perhaps. So that's kind of been how this program has really evolved, I think, and has really been unique to working with these communities in Boston. We have been involved in a lot of other types of community feeding, making meals for healthcare workers, making meals for homeless. We've always been of this mindset of listening to folks and what they need, what they want to eat, so that we're not sending off something that doesn't make sense or that goes to waste, or that's not enough. We've gotten really great feedback in communicating with these community organizations and receiving text messages from recipients, which is probably the kind of best part of this, is that we hear from these folks, and everyone's kind of counting their blessings that we're safe and that we're alive to be enjoying this food. I think what's what's nice from our perspective in the restaurant is that for us to be able to continue to employ our essential workers, I have a handful of employees here who are still with me throughout this. It's not the same as pre-COVID when I had over 35 employees. Now I have, 5 to 6 employees. We only carpool to work. No one takes public transportation. They make enough money to work just this one job. They're not, stretched working at 3 different places, taking public transportation, being exposed in various situations, potentially getting COVID. We're trying to keep things as safe as possible. Um, and in driving them to work every day, Everett, Revere, Chelsea, East Boston, I'm seeing firsthand the communities that we're feeding. And I'm seeing the lines, down the street and around the corner for these food banks, for these churches that have been transformed, and it's concerning. It's concerning not only the volume of people that still need this help, um, but like the potential risks in waiting in line, in going and gathering in one place. We're really fortunate that our model is a direct to doorstep model, a contact-free model, and that way there's avoiding bottleneck, avoiding chances of giving each other any kind of disease. So yeah, I mean, I just hope that the community continues to be supportive. We're at a very unique point right now where, it's the beginning of the year. It's incredibly frigid. It's New England. But people, are somehow rolling off of the holidays and their spirits, their hearts, their wallets, everything is very warm. People are very giving. We've been able to fundraise, the most so far in the past few months, thanks to Quantum, his friends, other volunteers, regulars that come to my restaurant, folks who support the other restaurant partners we have. So the momentum is really incredible, and we hope that that continues because the need is certainly there. So yeah, if anyone is looking to volunteer to contribute, we're always looking for volunteers, always looking for donations, always looking for ways to improve. And yeah, we hope that we can continue doing this because, restaurants, our employees, they definitely need it. Recipients, families, food insecurity. It's crazy that it's doubled since last year. And it's crazy that even in a town like Cambridge, city like Cambridge, um, one of the most kind of innovative, educated, cities in the world, that 1 in 8 families are food insecure. So imagine what that looks like in lower income, higher COVID areas, and it's it's something that I think that we need to realize that our community is greater than just this bubble around us, and that since we have the resources, the volunteers, the know-how now, as we've been learning a lot more about logistics coordination, that we spread that, we share that beyond our direct community, and see how far can we get, how many people can we reach. So thanks.
Thanks, Tracy. Cool. I guess we can walk a little bit down this way. So, I mean, we're towards the end of the day now, but earlier today, all of these tables were stacked like 3 or 4 boxes high with grocery boxes. I think out of you, you probably had like definitely over 200 grocery boxes. You can see more here. guess we're towards the end of the day now. Grocery boxes are almost out, but let's go outside and talk to a couple more volunteers. And then we'll wrap this up.
Yeah. This is a box from Suya, and it doesn't have oil because they ran out of oil over there. Just in case you were thinking we're using it, there's no oil in the box.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Isabel, do you want to talk? Or are you busy?
Sure, 1 second.
Yeah, 1 second. Okay. Cool. So I think we're about wrapped up. I don't know. Are there any questions have popped up? I mean, one question that pops up occasionally is donations tax deductible, and all donations to Project Restore Us are tax deductible. We're fiscally sponsored by Commonwealth Kitchen, which is a registered 501c3. So as long as you keep your tax receipts and get Commonwealth Kitchen's EIN number, you should be good to go. Another question that comes up is what sets us apart from traditional food pantries? I think it comes down to three reasons. One, we support restaurants. So restaurants, they are really fighting for their survival right now. So we partner with restaurants and we basically repurpose them to deliver groceries and kind of try to give them a lifeline to get through this COVID winter. Second reason is we deliver groceries, which are more efficient than prepared meals. We also customize our groceries to be, as Tracy mentioned, really familiar and culturally appropriate and dietarily relevant to our recipients. Third, as you can see, as you saw outside earlier, is our volunteer drivers who provide contactless delivery of the groceries, just so that people are able to get their food and still remain safe. Let's see. Okay, let's see if we can grab Shannon. Hey, Ren, you want to pop on the live stream?
Sure.
Cool. Say hi. Ren's a volunteer. She's been driving and helping out. Yeah, I'll let you take it from here.
Yeah, so my name is Ren. My pronouns are she, they. I heard about Project Restore Us through actually like working in industry and like being aware of PRU and Tracy and Irene. And when I heard what they were doing, I wanted to help out, especially since as someone working in hospitality, I've myself been out of work, but privileged enough to be taken care of. So just wanted to be part of it.
Awesome. Thank you, Ren. We can see if Isabella's ready for us now.
Hi. Oh, hello. Yeah, my name is Isabel. I started volunteering as a driver first when I learned about PRU through Cambridge Mutual Aid. And then I started getting more involved with the social media team and now helping pack groceries into cars. And I've done a couple. Sorry, it's been a long day of packing groceries. I've done a couple of deliveries. And yeah, the reason why I do it is because I want to make sure that our community feels that they have a community around them, supporting them, and that I feel that if something does happen with my family, that I would also have the support from my community. And that also, I don't think that anyone should be food insecure, and I think it's so impressive how many deliveries and how many families Project Restore Us is able to feed at a time. 346 is amazing, and it's super efficient, and yeah, I'm just excited to be part of the team and helping feed families in this way. And yeah, I'm also involved in other initiatives and
I think it's important and valuable how impactful these deliveries are and how much food we can get to families at a time. And yeah. Hi. Yeah, things are moving. Lots of moving parts happening at the same time.
So we've got volunteers checking in delivery drivers, other volunteers loading up their cars, making sure that we're all going to the right place and getting the right meals to the right people.
Nice. Yeah, did you want to say something, Avi, about how you got? No, okay. Cool. I guess maybe we'll just try and grab Shannon. Yeah, as Isabel mentioned, 346 households today, 24,900 and something pounds of food, 59 volunteer drivers, 3 restaurants, 3 community partners. This is our biggest delivery yet. If you want to help us do more, there are lots of ways to help. First, help us spread the word. So if you know someone who'd be interested to learn about Project Restore Us, direct them to our website, our Instagram, our Facebook. Second is by donating. All of our deliveries are funded by grocery deliveries, are funded by donor and grant dollars. We've got a crowdfunding campaign. We're very close to reaching our goal of raising $50,000. So check that out, givebutter.com/restore. And the third way is by volunteering. As you heard, a lot of volunteers, they get their start by driving and delivering groceries. But we've also got a really fast-growing volunteer team. Some people from all around the country, from Seattle, Colorado, Virginia. So people can help remotely. As Tracy mentioned, it's been really cool seeing the community come together. And I think everyone's just trying to do the right thing. I think that's something Tracy told me the first time I met her, is she's just really trying to do the right thing at this unique point in time. So we'd love to have you come join us. Yeah. Have a good day, everyone.